Because it's Easter, right? The Easter season. So I don't want to quote Jesus as always. This one is really
Hello, testing. Can you give another round of applause for Professor? Now the floor is open for question for Professor. Anybody?
not just question, any statement. Yes.
Can you introduce yourself and yes.
Okay, my name is Bernard. I'm formerly working for the Widodo. And for me, I love history. Only thing, the problem today, in this area, a lot of aircon in front of the house. All is air conditioned. And another thing, the finger shutters window, and they put a big signboard closing the face of a beautiful lady. So I hope maybe you can help it. That's all. Thank you.
Well, that is the job of the state actually, right? So we already have the rules, the regulations. So I think what we can do is to have the meetings with the state. I don't know who, we have new government, right? Hopefully it's a new government. Then we have Pakatan Harapan, it's not just Pakatan Heritage lah. Right? As a Melaka, we have this Pakatan, but to protect Melaka together. In the state, in the private sectors, and also the local people come together to speak up. And then times that it's not, we ask for town meetings. And then we identify all those problems and let the officers, officials take note. And we want to get to have information about what change has been implemented in the next sessions. So the only things that we can do actually to avoid that to happen is through the law and through the regulations.
Any more questions? Okay.
Hi, thanks for the amazing talks. My name is Karin and I work with Melaka. I would like to ask your personal opinion. So if you were to compare Penang and Melaka, I'm not sure if it is an apple-to-apple thing. What difference do you see in the effort? I think my question has two parts. The efforts of the authority and whichever community that is helping to preserve the heritage. This is the first aspect. And the second aspect is the awareness of the locals, in those cities. So what do you see, how do you see the difference in both cities in these two aspects? And also, how do you see the gap? So do you think one is doing better or is advancing better than the other? Or do you think there's no difference? So I'd like to hear the thoughts.
Of course, it's not apple-to-apple comparison. Penang has its own problems, but also strength. The strength maybe is the movement, heritage trust has been there forever. And you have people like Salma, people like, there's a lot of people there who are working tirelessly in different fronts. And even Salma now is inside the government. So she can do something after many years, but still the fight has been very, very fierce. But in the case of Melaka, the so-called heritage trust is very weak. But you have a very strong bond among the community. The Penangese is not, it's more fragmented. Maybe because of the clans, because of this history, and because it's more British educated, it's more smart, considered less smarter than us. But Melaka actually is more resilient. Right? You still have this informal conversations. But of course, there are different ways of dealing with Penang. For me personally, the thing city doing with that caricatures on the wall is very damaging. Because every city in the region now see that as an example. As bad as Singapore River as an example, template for tourism development. Like the Goki and Flaki. The Think City approach has been implemented everywhere, even Songkla. It's so sad because even the city of Songkla, they never have this confidence that the city is beautiful enough because that caricatures. Why we need to paint everything? It's like a Hinju, right? It prostitution. It's a tattoos. It's not natural. And then it's getting worse if you put neon light. It's become really like a red district. Well, we also have small red light district here, right? So you walk here, there's a red, and you see all these UFO, but there is a still small scale compared to Penang. But Penang is a different kind of ghetto. You know, but they also have development issues. They have the issue of bridges, public transport, monorails. Melaka is smaller, and you still have more. I think the intangible part of Melaka is really strong. But unfortunately, the protections of the intangible, the sensitive place is very weak. You know, I don't know why. How is the politics has been run here? You don't have Sultan. Right? You have a chief minister, you can change anytime. There's elections, and you can still put opposition wherever. But I think we need to do more than engaging the politicians, because we need to fed them with the good information. Give them the balance. Because maybe they're just politicians, they have to do the job. The lawmaker needs credible data, needs credible information. And this is the job of this kind of project, to fed them with the correct information and then work together with them, forcing all this about the transparency, accountability, all this as a democratic process. I think Melaka can do that. But at least stop this damage from tourism. Stop all the more. Recycle, what is wrong with Hello Kitties? Tourists will still use that, fine, you know, because Hello Kitties, because they have loud voices, noises. Yeah.
We have a more question from the lady here.
Thank you very much. Johannes Alfred. So when we submitted the one under MAN, we submitted it to a very good mayor, Zani, and he understood heritage and he appreciated American heritage. So when we have changed Pakatan Baru, Pakatan Harapan, whether we can harap on them is still another question. Because I met the chief minister, he's a very good man. But you know, like the Chinese emperor stories, he's surrounded by bad advisors. And you can submit things to him. And then he says, my assistant, can you summarize this and give it to me? Because he doesn't have time. And it all falls back again on that assistant. Is he a reliable person? Will he be able to portray? I can tell you that 3/4 of the people there are not aware of heritage at all. They are not aware, or do they care for how many people having its history or not? You know, and it's still all about tourism. Our new mayor is going to pedestrianize the place. Is the pedestrianization for the people, for the community, or is it for the tourists? I think the answer is very clear.
Yeah, I think the principle, tourism actually is not our enemy. We need tourist money. But what kind of tourists that we want? We don't want pandemonium. You know what I mean? Pandemonium. We don't care about heritage. Just take selfie, photo. You know, Chiang Mai has been destroyed by pandas because of that story about the drama. The Chiang Mai University was attacked with millions of Chinese tourists coming to the campus, camping, and so on. Tourism is not, but we can regulate tourism. You know, Bhutan has a good example, for example, by implying a very expensive tourism tax. The most important of the state actually is the amount of money. If the same amount of money can be collected from tourism, but we select only good tourism, and then we protect the city, then we can do better. So we learn from the different contexts that Venice now is in big problems, it's sinking. The rent is going up because Airbnb, so they ban Airbnb. Because Airbnb make rent going up and the local population actually suffering. The lifting of the land rent control in the whole part of Melaka actually is the beginning of this disaster. Because you cannot control the price anymore. Right? So you need to do something on this part. And then, of course, if you don't trust the government, of course you cannot trust the government. Maybe you can learn from example like a small town in Japan, like Kawagoe, in Saitama. It's about 2 hours by train from Tokyo. So, and they have a very old line of street with Edo typology on the street. And the younger generation of the owner of the ship owner come together to form associations. So this association actually is trying to bring in experts, just like movement around the city, and get members from the government officers. It's become like this NPO. And they give advice to everyone who want to build a house, who want to renovate, they want to open a Starbucks. Okay, fine, they come to these associations, and then they will give them advice, whether you want to open a Starbucks, the homes should be like this, that, and then before they submit these drawings into the government. And so the government accepts this group as a partner. You can advise them in terms of aesthetics and so on. And they have power because they have a social sanction. If someone did something not according to the agreement, they give them a social sanction. They become the enemies of the state, or enemy of the communities. And they managed to keep the integrity of Kawagoe for many years. And it's a very popular tourism destination. And maintain the authenticity. Now, the key is not authenticity anymore. E-commerce even have an idea to change the term authenticity into integrity. Integrity. Integrity means you allow some degree of change, but how you maintain so-called a certain degree of authenticity. And this can be achieved through dialogue, through a group of experts. So you can strengthening the so-called the civic movement. Take the responsibility of maintaining the old Melaka on the hand of the civic organizations, the NPOs. And then work together with the government as a partners. So we are not taking the position of oppositions. We don't want to change the government, but we want to help the government to make the good decisions. So the people will trust the government more. And the job of the government is to keep themselves incorruptible. That's it. And keep open to this idea. It can be a stupid officer there, fine, as long as you are clean and you are willing to work together with a goodwill, then with this community support, that is already planted everywhere, it's already existing in Melaka. Then maybe we can slowly, keep Melaka as Melaka. I think Melaka power is incredible because you have, this is the roots of all the big families, of the big banks, big monies, important politicians. It's all here in Melaka. Penang is a young state, it's a young city. Singapore is even younger. And everything in Penang and Singapore can be traced back to Melaka. Like you, in the bridge. The book is in such.
Thank you very much. My name is Martin. I think I totally agree that the Pertahanan government leaders, I think many of them in heritage or in this term of preservation and conservation, I think many of them have no idea. Totally no idea. And basically they are just the more the merrier in terms of tourism at Widodo. So I think a joint management body kind of thing, where the government must be forced to come to listen to such talks. And then it's only this kind of forum where you can get them at least to listen. I think we have a very good chief minister, he's willing to listen. But we have to reach out to him with this kind of forum, this kind of event. Because
your power of hope.
Yes, many of them don't know what Melaka is all about. They are just politicians, they are just there, and hopefully, they want to listen. But if there are other priorities, more than really the passion to preserve Melaka as it is, then we are in a bit of a trouble. That's why we have to educate them. I think it's more educating also the government, not only the people, to see the way things should be done. to keep Melaka as Melaka is. So a town hall, I think all those are very good because you have direct access with those who are responsible. And these are the things I think we have to pursue. We have to keep this thing going because if not, I think from my little experience, many of them don't know what it's all about. So it's our duty to educate them. Yes, thank you.
And also the education fall into the scientific community, universities, schools, scientific organizations, UNESCO, ICOMOS. So through their organization, we can run workshops, can offer CPD, career development point, a program for the civil servants, for professionals, certifications. So we can use the term certification actually is to improve the quality of the civil servants through education, and it will give them also opportunity to increase the salary and the careers. So we think we can do that things positively through many ways, working together with universities to run expertise programs, to run some workshops, and issue a certificate that is approved by the government, approved by the scientific organizations. Then this certificate has a value for them to get better salary and better position. So that's why Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy has been set up in Singapore. Because they want to train people in the region, in the world, actually about the Singapore ways of doing governance. Right? And also it's a way to spread the Singapore friendships and influence.
Congratulations for a wonderful talk. I just want to say a few things about how I actually feel. I think it's very important also to think about the soul of Melaka. What constitutes Melaka as a heritage and cultural place is what constitutes the people around Melaka. Because what I see about a few months ago, as an example, I went to one of my favorite shops selling fish balls. You know the Melaka Hepia? There are not many places selling this, but unfortunately that day, it was his last day in Melaka. And what I see dying off right now, and a major threat is that whether it could be culturally, people making crafts, the paper crafts that the Chinese, they have all moved away from the historic conclave in Melaka. Partly also because of the rent repeal, rental has actually gone up. They find that it's no longer they are able to survive, and they shift away. And along the way, you find that these traders they actually die off, and there you go, that Melaka becomes very commercialized. So I think it's also equally important to think about the soul of Melaka. Thank you.
So you keep Melaka as a family. So how to keep the soul?
That's right.
Right? The same question is how to keep your family together. Although your son maybe is not interested in heritage, only interested in game and gadgets, and your son or your children is more interested in McDonald's or Burger King, but not the chicken rice. It's a matter of how we train our own families, and also within Melaka itself. When the choice of food, the choice of venues, the choice of program, maybe we consciously trying to help the dying businesses. Maybe we're trying to look for locations that is, you consider as a family space. So I think the works of individuals and the works of network, as long as we know each other, it's become very important. Like this center, for example, we are trying to collect all the birth certificates, the copy of everyone, but during Aman time, when he's still alive. So we managed to collect around 50 or 60 birth certificates. So people who used to be born here. And the plan is actually to get them together, come together, just eat and drink and talk. And we record all these stories. And then put these stories into the web, into the internet, into books, into an exhibition or whatever, just to remind them that you come to the same place actually. So this building is not just architectural schools or conservation facilities, but this will become a clinic again, for Melakans. But it's becoming conservation clinics. It's more like community clinics. But we are talking about these cultural issues. We're talking about architectural issues. We're talking about urban planning issues. So that's why this center is open to everyone, as long as it's not political. To make this as a common living room. And then to keep all this living room alive. A place that you are having breakfast in the morning, a place that you are having a snack in the afternoon. And keep them alive. Give them have the business to thrive. And educate our children, our next generation to like them. Not only in Facebook, not only in hashtag, but like in terms of eating. And value them. That is the thing that at least it can be done by everyone. You are right. We are talking about soul. If not, yes, we are talking about zombies. Right? Or plastics. Or you put it in the announcement that always say you shot the tiger, and then you put plastic inside the tiger to preserve the tiger, and the tiger can stand next to you for 100 years. But that is not conservation. The real conservation is actually how to make the tiger able to produce another tiger. So we need to create a habitat for tigers to get married, to fall in love, and to produce baby tigers. So we don't make pickles for all the cucumbers that we have. But we want to create an environment of farming that can produce a lot of cucumbers. So if we want to freeze some cucumber into pickles, fine. You can make achar, you can make whatever, but we still have a fresh supply of cucumber every day. And that is only can be done through families, through schools, especially primary schools, kindergarten. It's too late if you engage JC or secondary school. You have to start to educate the children since kindergarten. So curriculum is important. How we engage primary school kids, primary school teachers, or kindergarten teachers to work together with the families.
We have one last question from Shimano.
Actually, I felt that this presentation should be done to the State Expo, but because I think that is, because listening is also quite sad. It's like we are actually in quite a dire situation. And the current state government, actually I think they are a bit better, more open. So a more condensed presentation at least should be done to them. I don't know whether people can have.
That's what my request.
Yes, because that's precisely what is needed. Because right now, here in this space, we are in an echo chamber where everybody here has some interest in heritage, some interest in the presentation. But then to the larger State Expo, there's many lobbying groups out there. We are constantly lobbying every day. And it's only not Melaka Tengah, you are lobbying for the Jasin and Alor Gajah. So we have to actually engage with the State Expo. That's the only way, because we are the historical zone, we are also part of a larger Melaka state of Alor Gajah and Jasin. So then they have a lot more dire situation of bringing up the other components of rural stuff.
I think that's the intention.
Last question from Lady there.
Hi, thank you very much for the very interesting talk. So you mentioned about good urban management plan, right? All the 6 factors. I'm just wondering how many of us think that we have got an empowered community in Melaka? Raise your hand. Empowered community. Sustainable environment. Anybody? Robust infrastructure. No. Cultural authenticity. No. Halfway. Okay. Economic viability. Very few. And social, cultural, physical continuity. So I think after listening to your talk, I feel like we have been vetted. The community, the people have been really suffering, in fact. So I think a lot of people here want to do something, but they don't know who to. I mean, we haven't found our community. And what you have spoken is very good. giving us ideas how to, or what is required. So I think it's up to us, right, to come together and to be the big family that you just mentioned. Okay.
As a big family,
Thank you.
You organize yourself. I give you the points. You can do referendums. I mean, referendum doesn't have to be formal, right? It's kind of survey that reach out everybody, give the legitimacy. You can use whatever medias, and then tabulate all those feelings, right? So what is the feelings and what is already good, what is horrible, what needs to be changed, and we get agreement along the majority of Melaka, so different races, not just one, but different groups of people. Then it's become like legitimate voice from the people, right? Fox Populi, Fox Day. So you can put in the one of the questions in the referendum whether Hello Kitty can exist or you have to be killed. Whether the red paint on that has to be referred back to the original historical white, not red.
We have a second answer.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Very well done talk by the matter, in fact, and very knowledgeable to me. For some suggestion just now, as I'm the MBKK chairman here, MBKK meaning that we are the local community regulatory, previous JKK. So we are offering help. We are offering collaboration with anyone of here. If wanted to do, we can bring your voice into the government agency. For the ESCO, for us, it is still far, but you can start from local level and BKK. And I'm here to offer because I did comment in Melaka in fact page, and this is the first time I'm joining the event. I feel very proud and very great. But of course, it must be reached to most of the people, and regardless of religion or regardless of their bahasa, so that they can, like Chinese, they won't come to this kind of, English talk. But if we have more people, different background come and we convey, then it's very good and we can make a better place. Yeah. So if anyone want to have some ideas, we can have a short one talk after this.
Thank you. That's very important. It works for everybody actually. We don't make the distinctions between state, non-state, private, whatever. It's a family. So everyone has whatever channels that you have, international link, local links, federal links. We use out there and then work together, kind of track. That's normal. Not everybody like him. Right? But a lot of people love it. It's normal. We need different characters. Everybody has talents. Like in the family, right? So we have some naughty kids. We have very, very good kids. Some rich, some very poor. As long as you have love, it doesn't matter. Differences make these cities very beautiful. That's why I like better morals. Because moral doesn't care as long as it's survives. And continue living. Right?
Okay, Prof, the last question.
Okay.
Prof, thanks very much for that amazing talk. My name is Saida Rastam. I'm from Melaka, in fact. I wanted to ask, moving forward, there are many factions in Melaka, like anywhere else. You suggested that we should get together as a family.
Round table.
But we have actually had many initiatives like that. I think we've attended some here as well, which never got anywhere. In your experience, looking around the world, has there been an initiative, again by local families, which took off? And what were the reasons for that? And how can we emulate that?
Kawagoe that I mentioned just now is one example. That the result of the studies and proposal of this community initiative is become law. And they work together with the government as one. So it's part of the regulations. So I think there are many other examples. I think the small scale, big scale, even the city of Penang, for example, right? That people are able to talk to the government and the government will listen to them. There's no other way than we play politics. We need really to engage those people in the power. And we have to realize that the power is limited. I mean, it will change every 5 years or every 4 years, every election. But we have the power of hope to choose our representatives. And we have the power of freedom. I mean, we are free from interest. Well, we are representing many interests, but we can come up with one single, say, proposal, like the HUL, the draft of HUL, that easily digestible by people from the law discipline, from the planning discipline. So I think the next step is really to bring, well, of course we need to go to Expo. We need to talk to them. And we offer this help actually to make a better document. And then continue to do this round table. And even bigger and bigger. So after Tenkara, I don't know where. Is it the last one? After Tenkara? Kampung Gadat. So we do Kampung Gadat. So first we only 4 or 5. But maybe we need to do a grand kind of exhibitions and town hall meetings somewhere at the middle to combine all this together. We don't even include the historic core, right? We exclude historic core in this project. We're only dealing with the fringe because it's a more pattern. So because we believe that there is a historic core, at least there's already a law to govern this area, although there's a lot of issues and violation. But the area outside the historic core, in the buffer zone and beyond buffer zone, is totally exposed. So we need, the priority actually is to bring them together first and then combine with the historic core. This place is always open for organizing such a kind of meetings. That is our job as a clinic, right? It used to be the maternity clinic, so we have to act as a maternity clinic. Not just maternity clinic, but to help you to cure your influenza, to cure your wound, to treat the movements. You have the channels, communication channels, and then organize yourself. In this digital age, it's easy. Just use Twitter, you can bring down the document. Let the spring comes to Melaka.